Bonnie.
Oh, hey Guy, how are you? Nice to
Hi.
meet you. How are things going so far?
Good, not too bad. Not too bad.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, listen, personally, thank you for this film because I am a Jewish day school. I was 10 years old when Golda. But you were born in 73. I was 10. So she was the forefront of our learning in Jewish day school. So she was my hero. I grew up just loving her, but not knowing the extent of what we learn in this film, obviously. And I was shocked about a lot of things because never taught that, right? So for you, what was it, Guy, that you sat down and you went, yes, I want to tell this real story behind what this amazing woman was about because she was not perfect.
Wasn't she? Um, okay, so the process is that it was an open assignment for directors.
Yeah,
Kind of like, to compete to direct that with other directors. And I came 2018 and I pitched my pitch. So the script was 80% war, 20% Golda. It was
right.
not a film about Golda, it was a film about the war and Golda. And my pitch was, listen, let's change the equation. Let's do 80% Golda and 20% war because we've seen war films before. You need a giant budget to make those massive war films.
Of course.
And Golda was not able to go to the front. She was too sick, too old. I want us, the viewers, to get into her head, to her psyche, and basically look, feel the war exactly like she felt it, from sound bites, from drones, from her nightmares, and to feel her loneliness within this baton structure.
Yeah.
Um, and after my pitch, I was like, I went home and I said, they would never do it. I mean, they want to make a war film. They would never take my pitch. And then they called me after a month and they said, we want you, and just for you to know, Helen is attached to this project. Her grandson Gidi thought about her first as Helen. He
Yeah.
said, I see Helen, I see my grandmother. It's basically her. So I met with Helen in the middle of the pandemic. She came to my house in Los Angeles, and I we both I pitched her my approach, and she loved it. She said, "Let's do it. Let's
Yeah.
just I'm with you on that. Let's go under her skin."
Right.
And from that point, I worked with Nicholas Martin on the script, how we make it more about Golda and less about other people and less about the war.
Yeah.
Um, and the sound bites I got from the real sound bites from the war, from Amnon. He's a
Yeah.
guy who owned those, so he sent me those. It was
That was amazing. I mean, to listen in, I mean, we'll talk about Helen in a second. I think what really got me, when they were sitting in that war room and that the first time and listening to what was going on, to feel that, as a Jew, me listening to that and experiencing that real what went on during that Yom Kippur War, it was devastating. My God, I don't know how you got through some, my friend, honestly.
I also played it on set, so just imagine how powerful it was for them.
Yeah. Yes, and because you have some Israelis obviously who are in this film, and yeah, kudos to you for doing that because it really does make it powerful. Helen, I mean, when the first shot of her as Golda was released, I had to do a double take. I thought, is that Golda that came back to life? Like she embodied her. I never saw Helen Mirren. She really threw herself
Can I
into
show you
this. I mean,
something?
look, we know she can play the queen. She can play anything. She's amazing. There's no question about it. But my God, what was it like to just work with her and see her as Golda on that set every day?
Well, I need to send you something. Look, wait, hold on.
Okay. Okay. Oh, the makeup process. Wow. Wow. Oh my goodness. You're gonna, I want to get a copy of that. Guy, that's crazy. Like she must have looked in the mirror and went,
I mean,
yeah,
this woman went, this 78-year-old woman, woke up at 4 a.m. every single day,
yeah,
went into the makeup room, into the makeup trailer for 3.5 hours, came out as Golda, and basically we were just waking up and we went to the set and she was Golda. And then when we finished shooting, she went back to the trailer, taking off all her stuff, and we went to the hotel and she went to sleep super late.
yeah.
So you have to understand, this is a woman who's like, and I didn't hear 1 inch of complaints.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah. And we also know that Golda was a chain smoker. I mean, how that's just in itself what Helen had to go through. Like herbal cigarettes, I get it, but still gross.
Yeah, well, Helen told me, listen, I cannot smoke anymore. I'm about to vomit. And we agreed that she would just hold the cigarette with your hand. It's enough sometimes.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it
I can
does the
imagine.
work.
Yeah, I can imagine. Guy, I'm wondering your perspective on how you feel this might be received, but especially with the climate of what is going on in Israel and politics right now.
What do you
It's a
think
little
about
scary,
that?
my friend.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, we can have a whole discussion about that because I have relatives, lots of them. Look, I was going to go this year to Israel, but we pulled back. I've been 15 times. It's like my second home. I love that country more than I almost love where I live now. But what is going on is scary for Jews everywhere.
I'd be more extreme, if you may. I think it's the Yom Kippur of democracy. I think this movie symbolized deafness and blindness of the leaders in 1973, and I think it's a full circle. It's coming back again. Benjamin Netanyahu and his team are extreme, are
Mhm.
blind, and are leading us to catastrophe. And people are telling them, like major ministers and major army personnel tells them, do not do that. We will not come to fight. We're going to refuse you. And I really hope that the High Court
Yeah.
uh, will block Benjamin Netanyahu, and he will obey to that, because otherwise it will be another Trump.
Yep. Yeah.
So when you see 1973, you see 2023, 50 years later, with the same ingredients, the same DNA.
Yeah. Yeah. It's frightening. It really is. I'm hoping to. Fingers crossed here as well. I have a few more minutes, but I also love the performance by Liev Schreiber, and again another amazing consummate actor. I would never have thought of him as Henry Kissinger, but just the scene of the two of them in her home when he finally comes and she needs to make sure that he eats the borscht, like she's the grandmother, but yet yes, she's the Iron Lady. But the scenes between them were fantastic. How did you envision him as Kissinger?
Well, first of all, Liev can do anything. He's
Yeah.
like brilliant as a devil, and he met with Henry Kissinger in his apartment in New York 2 days before shooting this scene. So he came
Wow.
full of admiration, full of inspiration, and he changed a lot of stuff. The scene when Kissinger tells Golda, first I'm an American,
Yes.
second I'm first Secretary of State, and third I'm a Jew. But in Israel, we read from right to left.
I
This is
loved
something
it.
that this is
Yeah.
something that Henry gave him,
Yeah.
as an anecdote, and he brought it to the script.
Yeah.
So it's because of his meeting with Henry. He was
Yeah.
brilliant. What can I say? To see those two
Uh,
brilliant actors, sitting in front of each other, and I just sat in my seat in front of the monitor. And I said, I don't even interfere here. Just you guys go.
I was going to ask you that because you listen. You've won an Oscar. You're a good director, my friend. You're really amazing at what you're doing, and I can't wait to see what else you're going to do past this. But how direct Helen Mirren? Honestly, what do you do? Like you say, you sit back and, but is she
You
open to
don't.
comments? She's still open to that.
I feel that with geniuses, you need to let them play and step out of the way. Don't interfere. But she needs my guidance, and she also needs my vision. My cinematic vision. When she feels that she can rely on me, she can count on me. When she feels that I know what I'm doing, it gives her security to do what she's doing. And we work together. A lot of times I told her a little less, little more, just to do the kind of like measuring stuff. And got because Golda was very slow.
Yes.
She was a turtle, not a bunny. And I pulled her back. I pulled Helen back and made her listen. You're too fast for that. You got to slow down. Okay, I'll slow down. Ugh, she was like, how slow can I go? And it's like, yes, Golda was very, very slow.
Yeah.
But it's really she's fantastic, and she came ready. She did her preparations for a year for this role.
Yeah. And just to wrap it up, what are Golda's family, her living relatives? What do they think about this?
I have a photo here of them hugging Helen, the grandkids hugging Helen in Jerusalem Film Festival in front of 6,000 people. I mean, they are in awe. They are
Yeah.
in awe because also they are happy that this film is like fixing a
Yeah.
narrative that was did her wrong. She was the pariah of the war. She was the woman to blame.
Yeah.
She was
Yeah.
the face of a failure, no one else. And now it's fixing a little bit this narrative, which some people are angry about that, but that's okay.
Yeah. Listen, you're not going to please everybody, but you
No.
pleased me. You pleased me.
Okay, good. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I have to tell you, and just lastly, I have so much I wanted to ask you, but just before we wrap it up, I know that your next project, you're collaborating with an Iranian director. I think that's fascinating. Is that scaring you a little bit?
Scaring me?
Yeah.
Why? Why scaring me?
No, I don't know. Just going, not so much politically wise. I just mean to team up with somebody and have different views, and I think that's interesting.
Look, I did Skin. No
Yeah.
one can scare me. Okay, I went rogue. Um, I I'm not scared. I initiate this project, and this is the first collaboration between Iranians and Israelis. We shot it under the radar, kind of in a secret way, in Tbilisi, Georgia, and we are presenting this film in front of the world in Venice Film Festival. So it's very exciting with the Iranian women who are all exiled from their countries and representing the revolution, the female revolution.
Amazing. Oh, I can't wait to see that. Too bad you should have brought it to Toronto. Oh well, next time.
Next time.
Next film, you got to bring to TIFF, okay?
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Guy, thank you for your
Thank
time
you,
and thank you for this. Toda rabah. Thank you so
bye.
much for this film. I
Bye-bye.
really appreciate it. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.